Shuks, welcome once again to NMG Fort Claremont. It's always a treat having you here, Shukri. From the first time we got together, we met you, we knew we had a winner. And I must tell you, this entire NMG team and together myself knew you were going to win the mace before you did it. But you know how?
Please tell.
Well, you said I can't use vase. Never mind, I wouldn't say. But Shukri, welcome. The team put together some questions, Shukri, that we think would inspire us. I mean, we've seen what you've done for the Proteas. We've seen how you've led the team. I spoke earlier about the decorum with which you've done it. You know, we look at you and you got this calm demeanor. But inside we know the Cape of Storms is brewing. But how come we see this Dead Sea on the outside, Shuks?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, players look at the leaders and I'm sure in your industry it's exactly the same. They look at the leaders not only when things are going well, but especially when things are not going that well and things are in the melting pot and the pressure's on, the board is coming at you, the media is coming at you from another angle. And players then look to the leadership and for leadership. And I think the one thing that I pride myself on is to stay nice and balanced. When things are going well, not to be overly happy, but still manage a smile.
Yeah.
And similarly, when things are not going well, not to get too down on yourself, because that sort of energy and negative energy does the players pick up on that. And the one thing I want to make sure is that they stay nice and calm, whatever the situation is, and calm players, calm heads, and again, similarly in your environment, make better decisions.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, so I churn inside. I probably let a lot of steam off once we get back to the hotel in the sanctity of your hotel room or home, if it is that. But whilst you in front of your players, you want to portray this calmness that they can feed off.
No, thanks. That's very inspirational, man. And I think you quite rightly describe any typical environment from leadership. But maybe we should have asked your wife that question because...
she's the real leader, yeah.
Shuks, you know, the team got together, they put a whole lot of questions together I think are very relevant. So I'll go through them if you don't mind. Okay, so here's the first one. If you had to compare your coaching style to a Ford model, which one do you think it would be and why?
I think it's in the factory being manufactured. I think, and I'm very fortunate to be driving a wild track because I think it's a bit me.
Okay.
In the name itself,
Yeah.
But wild in terms of can navigate most terrains.
Okay.
I think I'm able to, although I'm quite on in years, I'm an analog guy in a digital world. I think the wild track is exactly that. It can navigate all terrains and it's still got that soft touch about it when you get in.
Sure.
Gives you the luxury, gives you the comfort. I think I'd like to think I portray that.
Yeah.
That there's a caring side to me as well.
Sure.
For my players, for the environment that I lead. But similarly, when tough decisions need to be made, and we need to get off road, and we need to get rogue,
there we go.
and we need to engage the four-wheel drive, then I'm able to do that as well. So, yeah, I think I'm a bit of a wild track. Not a Raptor just yet, but
not a Raptor. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll give that to one of the speed bowlers, right?
Rabada's a Raptor.
There we go.
He's a Raptor through and through.
Listen, I don't think any one of us could have described wild track like he just did. So amazing for the customers that are going to see that. The second question, and in the same theme, what keeps you motivated as head coach of South Africa's national team, especially in tough matches? I know you touched on it a little bit, but I think this is important to somebody.
Yeah, I think it's what gets you up every morning. And I'd like to think that, and though cricket is not my life, it is a huge part of my life. And we only really saw it after we won that final at Lord's. You know, I think we made light of it. We won a massive final. We beat Australia, and we thought it was just a trophy that we won until we got back home.
Yeah,
until I walk through the doors here and I see the smile on your people's faces. we walk through the doors at OR Tambo and you see thousands of people, and what it's done for them. And in short, I think that is probably what excites me the most, is how I can bring joy, or how I can help bring joy, and a lot of tears sometimes, because we're not always going to win. But at the end of the day, we're in the entertainment business.
Sure.
People switch on their tellies, they pay a lot of money to have the subscription so they can watch us play, and hopefully I can lead in such a way that people find enjoyment in watching us.
So let me assure you, and this is the team speaking, we certainly see that. And I think there's a lot of people that follow and watch cricket based on what you guys have done. And yeah, you're right. I mean, winning the Mace is massive. It's not just another trophy, especially in the manner you guys did it, how you went undefeated, and who you did it against, because those are the guys that called us chokers. What happened to them in that game?
Yeah, they didn't even get to start chewing, so they weren't in position to choke. But it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch. But look, Australia, I mean, they still stay the arch rivals, you know.
Yeah. They're going to come at us, but you got one back on them when you toured their land, you know. So how did that feel?
Yeah, it's great to be able to do it in all formats.
Yeah.
We started off about a month and a bit ago in Australia.
Yeah.
Played them in T20s. We lost that narrowly off the last ball, in fact. But won a ODI series in Australia for the first time in a very long time. And then we went on to England, did a similar thing, you know. And that's great, but that just shows the growth, shows the ability. And again, it shows the talent. In South Africa, we're always going to have talented individuals. And I'm sure, again, you can say the same for your industry. You're always going to have talented people especially in these offices. It's just allowing them to bring their best versions to the fore, you know, and allowing them to be who they are. At the end of the day, we get judged on winning.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get judged on how many cars you can sell.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it must still be a passion of yours. If it's solely a job and you get desperate about it, then there's very little enjoyment. And we still enjoy it. We love playing cricket. I love being the leader in the Proteas setup. And yeah, we obviously love winning as well, but it's the passion that drives us.
Now we see that. I mean, there's a lot of firsts there. You've said the first one-day series win in Australia and in England and world champions. So well done. And we know there's going to be a lot more coming through. You're going to do seconds on all of those, right? Thank you.
And thirds, hopefully.
There we go. Shuk, there's another one. Fans look up to you as a leader. What advice would you give to young South Africans chasing their dreams, whether in sport or life?
Yeah, I think it's dreams. And the one thing that we did as a team is we allowed ourselves to dream every now and again.
Yeah.
So after a series win, we needed to go to the West Indies. We needed to win there. We did. And then the conversation started, and we allowed ourselves to imagine what it could be like winning that trophy at Lord's.
Yeah, wow.
And then we went to Bangladesh, tough place to tour. We won a series there in a tough environment. Celebrate, and I think we don't do that enough. You know, I think in any sphere of life we don't celebrate those achievements enough. So my advice would be allow yourself to dream, celebrate those little milestones as you go along to reaching that end goal. And I know it sounds like a car advert almost, like nothing's impossible, or you can whatever, but nothing is impossible.
Yes.
I think the great man said it's only impossible until you achieve it or something.
Do it, yeah. No, I think that's very inspirational. Thank you for that. And I think to everybody here, and everybody's going to watch this, that's some key notes from somebody who's done it, and somebody who's led a team that nobody knew. We spoke earlier, there are some names that have been auctioned now in this T20 that nobody knew 6 months ago. And suddenly they're fetching millions. So yeah, I think what you're saying, you've lived it, and we want to do that too. So to those fans, here's your answer. Here's another one for you, Shuks. We've got a big community here at Fort Claremont, from car lovers or sports fans. How important is community support in building a winning team?
I think it's the cornerstone of pretty much everything. And this community itself, if I look across the road at the high school there, Livingston, is where my late dad, who passed away earlier in the year, at age 82 or 83, he schooled at Livingston High.
Wow.
They grew up in the Claremont Newlands area before the Group Areas Act. I grew up in Lansdowne. And again, when you walk in a place like this, you feel the warmth, you feel the care, you feel the love. And again, those are cornerstones that any healthy environment is built upon.
Okay.
So community involvement, massive. And I think what it gives a youngster schooling at Livingston, growing up in Lansdowne, a line of sight where he says, well, geez, if Uncle Shuks can do it, surely I can.
Surely I can.
If a boy from Langa sees Temba Bavuma lift a mace at Lord's, surely he looks and he says,
wow,
that can be me. And the stories and the community-based players, it's something that we try and do, is we bring players back to appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that people appreciate that bit as well about the Proteas.
No, I agree with you, Shuks. I think people matter, and we often say this in our game as well. We're not really in the car business, we're in the people business. We connect people to people, and the community around us are important, so we invest in that community. So thank you for that answer. And we want to see more stars come from that school next door, because we'll support them. Here's another one for you, Shuks. If you weren't on the cricket pitch, like now, what would we probably find you driving or doing on a weekend? Again, you can defer this question to your wife, or be brave and answer.
I know what I'll be driving. I'll be driving her around the peninsula.
Okay.
What I'll be driving in, it's anybody's guess. Hopefully something reliable like a Wild Track or any Ford product.
Good.
And so I'll be driving around the peninsula, and it will definitely end in a braai
Okay.
at my place, where I do all the cooking. And family just rock up, friends.
Yeah.
And again, that sense of community, we're a strong, we might not be a huge family, but, and it's a bit like the cricketing environment now. There's so many leagues around the world that players play in, but the Proteas must still be home. And that sense of home and family is hugely important for me.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll be a driver around the peninsula, end in a braai at home. And Uncle Shuks will be doing all the cooking.
There's an amazing gentleman. For all the guys out there, I think you've taken what he's said. Yeah. He's driving with his wife in the peninsula, taking care. Thanks, Shuks. And cooking. You must give me some tips on that, my good man. Shuks, we're coming to the end. So, and we'll never forget the fact that you are a national treasure, a national hero for where we come from. You don't like those terms.
Jacques' words.
Those are Jacques' words. He said, I must say that. Because he wanted to mention, he says, this entire interview, you got to say my name 3 times. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. Jacques.
Jacques? Which Jacques is that? That other Jacques? Is that Jacques that sits over there?
Yeah, apparently.
That Jacques that's almost Jamil.
Okay, I'm going to end that part. Shuks, any final message for South Africans that are back in the Proteas this season? I know we certainly are, yeah. But any message you want to share with them, Shuks?
I think the important bit is obviously we appreciate and value the support. We've got a big year coming up.
Yeah.
We obviously got tours to India, to Pakistan and India now, but then we've got a T20 World Cup in India. And with all of that, we're building up to probably the biggest event in South Africa, which is the 2027 Cricket World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
Hopefully Ford and I will still be together, and we can showcase a few things there on the international stage. But to the fans, we value your support. Stay patient. Every now and again, we embark on a journey where it's a bit explorative. We're trying a few things, but yeah, the support and means a hell of a lot to us. The crowds don't often know that support from back home when we're on long tours. People don't really know how much we appreciate, but everything comes to us through our media people. So we value your support, and hopefully we can continue to make you proud.
Shuks, I don't think you can undo that. You've made us proud, and I think we'll continue to be proud, certainly as the NMG folk community and the people that's going to watch us, that normally follow us on our social media. They love you. You should have seen when we announced that we're going to be seeing you in our dealership today. It was pandemonium. And I have no doubt that there's going to be lots of likes for you. And I know you prefer runs to likes.
I prefer runs.
We know that.
Likes, yeah.
But thank you, because you are who they say you are. You're a great man. You're a great family man. It was lovely to meet the family. It was lovely for you to come and meet our family here. And to answer the question you inadvertently asked, we want to be with you for as long as we can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shuks.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.